Okay, we're starting something new here on CB24 Breakfast this morning. CTV News political commentator Scott Reid joining us. It's not new that he's joining us in studio, but it's a new segment. It's going to be a recurring segment focusing on three things to watch out for, the three different levels of government. And of course, there's plenty to watch out for, and that's kind of what you do for us here.
All sorts of stuff.
Yeah, so let's get into it first with the big story yesterday out of Ottawa, the federal dental plan. Why is the Trudeau government going in on this like this?
Let's start with the pure politics of it. It's a minority legislature, minority House of Commons, I should say, right? Minority parliament. And they got to keep the NDP happy if they, the Liberals, want to keep alive. So this was part of that confidence and supply agreement. That's the politics of it. They seem to be dragging their heels on pharmacare. I think maybe they're trying to sweeten up the dental plan, put it loudly in the frame, therefore say to the NDP, and we don't need to do pharmacare. We'll see how that goes. But you know, I want to shave some of the cynical political analysts off me for a moment. It is, and yes, it's expensive, but it's going to affect 9 billion people, right? I mean, so 6, 8, 7 years from now, I don't know that it's going to have a lot of political pop in the near term, but a decade from now, I think, you know, we're going to be talking about, you know, kids in lower income families and even lower middle income families, seniors are going to be getting dental care. I think that's going to make a change. I know, you know, big time TV anchors have perfect teeth. This is not something you need to worry about. But, you know, there's some of the unwashed out there.
Yeah, no, it's something I think about, especially with people not having pensions going forward, no health care benefits after they leave their work. I mean, a lot of us have benefits now, but post that, what happens? And, you know, your teeth can decay. So that's just real concern.
Dental care has always kind of been the incompleted business of Medicare.
That's true, very true. Okay, let's talk about this, and I know this is something you're very highly focused on, and it happened almost immediately after Bonnie Crombie became the leader of the Ontario Liberal Party.
Boom!
The attack ads, they've been running on CP24 and across other networks this morning. What's your take on this? Why are they going so hard at Bonnie Crombie?
They're scared of her, and and they're kind of transparent about that. I mean, they look at the Liberal brand and they say, Liberals can form government in Ontario. When the rhythm is right, Liberals can actually attract voters, and they want to make certain that she doesn't get out of the blocks. They're trying to cripple her right off the start. So they're running these ads. I have to say, a couple of my friends who are responsible for these ads have been very excited over the last few days. I think it's going to be interesting. I work from this premise. If I'm the Liberals, I have to take these things seriously. I figure this onslaught, all this money, all this advertising is going to have an effect. I'm going to be trying to raise money on my own to try to counter-program it. But I do think that the ads strike me, it's interesting, they're a little imprecise. They're kind of generic political attacks, as opposed to something really specifically drawn out about Bonnie Crombie herself. So I'll be curious to see if they have that absolute laser-like effect that some negative ads have in the past.
It has seemed to follow the sort of federal conservative playbook for the last decade or so of really trying to define new Liberal leaders as soon as they're actually the leader.
And I will take a bit of peculiar pride in saying that way back in the day, 20-some years ago, we went after Stephen Harper when he first became leader, and it really harmed him in the 2004 election campaign. So pre-writ advertising, trying to define your opponent before they get a chance to define themselves. It's definitely a working strategy.
Interesting. Okay, and of course, Olivia Chow and Rob Ford, former Mayor Rob Ford, were certainly opponents when they were down at council together. But now Olivia Chow has come out in support of renaming a facility after the late mayor.
Let's give her credit. Let's just start with this. It might just be like, hey, you know what? Generosity spirit. You know, instinct to say, you know what? He dedicated a lot of his time to the football, to this stadium, to this program. He was the mayor. Very controversial, of course, and sensational, but maybe it was just like, let's just do this, seems like the right thing. I also think it's what we call politically a little bit of a strategy of triangulation, which means that you sort of, you know, you try to triangulate yourself in the public mind as not just, you know, some hard left partisan, I'm not just a New Democrat. I can do something that appears gracious with respect to someone who's from the populist right-wing side of the political spectrum, and it makes you a little bit more centrist, a little bit more appealing to a broader group. So I think there's some politics at play here too, but you know, good honor, you know.
Yeah, he's also the mayor, or the brother of the Premier of Ontario as well, which could potentially have something to do with it as well. But listen,
she
Scott,
likes his checkbook.
This is this is going to be a lot of fun. I appreciate this. Look forward to this segment recurring here. So thanks so much.
Thanks
we'll see
a lot,
you in a week's time. Okay,
we will see you soon.
For this. All right, we've got to get to our headlines, in fact, right now.